So if you're moving through something difficult right now, I hope this gives you hope or sparks a light within your heart so your light can return back again. I hope that it elevates you and inspires you. Here we go. Hello, hello, and welcome to this new episode. If you love journaling or if journaling is something that you want to dive into, you're going to enjoy this episode. I just felt inspired to share my journey. Journaling is one of my non-negotiables because it just helps unravel my brain. It helps to massage my brain, calm my brain. I love to journal because I can put everything that's moving in my mind onto the paper where I can see it. And there's something about just the paper, the journal, the pen. I just love it. And then the colors, to add on colors, And that's the thing. I love my journal. If you look at any of my journals, actually it has progressed or changed throughout the time where it used to be just words. And as I have grown, my journals are more like an arts journal where there's words, there's also arts, there's collages, there's doodles, there's basically, everything in one place. And I used to have like different journals. If you love journals, this is going to be, you're like, I get it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, we love getting or buying journal books in general, right? Like, how many of you have a journal sitting there that you haven't even touched yet because it's just beautiful, right? We love journals. So I used to buy a journal for different things. So I'll buy journals for my dream, I'll buy a journal for just journaling my thoughts like I would do separately. I had a journal for my business. And as the years progressed, I realized I don't need to separate them. I can put them all together. And actually, it felt better to do it that way. And if something is important, I'll just mark the page so I can find it and I can come back to. I love journaling. My husband doesn't like journaling. And I know there's a lot of people who don't do journaling, and that's okay. We all have our own way of chewing and digesting this life that we are living, right? Mine, one of it is journaling. The other one is neurographica. If you haven't heard me talk about neurographica, it is a beautiful art plus psychology way of just like dismantling old beliefs and old thought patterns and neurons and creating new neural processes. It is divine. And I'm so grateful that it came to me at a time that it did because it has also become a non-negotiable for me. Another way for me to release what needs to be released and then not just write it down, but actually create the neurons with it. Right. It is powerful. If you're interested in it, let me know and I can hook you up with more. So my journal have moved from just words, which was still very powerful, to now adding that visual aspect to it. And when I open my journal now, it just feels so good. It feels like me. It truly feels like me. Like all the different facets of me are represented in my journal. And I actually just finished my last journal. When you buy a new journal, you just feel like, oh my gosh, how am I going to fill this up, right? When you start, you're like, oh my God, this journal is huge. How am I going to fill this up? What am I even going to write? And we know that that's not the point. You just take it one day at a time, one moment at a time, and you just write down what needs to be written down and you just move from there. It's not about filling it up. So I started this journal in November and I just completed it just this week. And I think it's very cool because this week is my birthday week. So my birthday is actually September 14th, which it's in this week. And I bought a new journal. I was like, oh, like it just felt so good. It's like a new cycle is beginning. And I have a brand new journey, a brand new journey that I get to record in this brand new journal, right? So that got me excited. But also just looking at this journal that I just completed and contemplating on the themes, what I wrote in here, and I realized I wrote, there's a lot of affirmations, there's a lot of prayers. I started out with a prayer, like the first page is a prayer, and the last pages are also a prayer. And I'm actually going to share that with you guys because the way it came to me and the messages that came through, it was exactly what I needed. And so, yeah, it really shows what my year that, from November to now has been. Like, it has been a deep communion, not just with myself, but with the divine, really deepening into that, like accessing, trying to figure out how to tap into the divine and allow that grace to flow into my life and help me to build the life that I know I'm here to build. And the entire journey has been like that. I mean, there's so much in here. Like, usually when I'm done with a journal, I don't put it away on the shelf immediately. I keep it next to me because I tend to go back and find certain things and then expand on it or allow that to inspire me. There's so much good stuff in my journals. Like, so much. Anything that inspires me goes in there. Quotes, affirmations, of course, my own thought patterns, breaking it down, right? All of that is in there. And then now that I have that creative aspect with the arts, it makes this so rich. So like, I just opened to a page where it says yummy recipe, and it's basically, oh, yeah, it does sound yummy. It's like a salad, some kind of fruit salad, and it just sounds so yummy. Ooh, I might make it again, right? So it's like anything that lights me up, anything that I would chew on in my mind is put on paper, if that makes sense. This is why this process is so important to me. Again, journaling is not for everybody. I feel like it's a tool that everybody should have because it's just amazing. But if your way of thinking is not processed in that way, then it's not going to be helpful to you, and you have to find a way. But I'm always like, how do you not like journaling? And maybe what people don't like is the word that is put on top of the action. Does that make sense? Because we all write things down, right? We all have like a little book in our purse or our man bags that we write things down in, whether it is our to-do list or to remember. When I journal, I'm just taking it the next step, right? I still do my to-do list sometimes. Sometimes I write down what I would like to accomplish in the day, but I take it further. I really allow most of the things that are, especially the things that take up space in my head, that makes my head heavy and stuck, right? They're the things that really come down into the paper because once I get it out, I make more room in my mind, which means that the solutions can come in. But also, as I'm writing things down, the solution also will show itself. It's magical. Journal is truly magical, and maybe it has to do with the experience. Someone just experiences, like, just write something down. Like, maybe, I don't know, but I'm excited to teach my son to journal. I think he's seen me write so many times. I hope that he picks up on the love of journaling, the love of pens and paper and books. Oh, yes, right, because it is truly a gift. I see it as a gift for me because I know what it does for me every time that I get the opportunity to sit and just allow what is bothering my mind or what is weighing on my mind or what I've been chewing on to go on the paper. Like, that release, it feels amazing. And even look back and read. Sometimes, we chew over something over and over, and we kind of lose ourselves in that. But when you write it down and you go back and read, you're like, oh, fascinating. I didn't know I felt that way. I didn't know I saw it that way, right? There's so much that comes into light when we do that. If you don't like journaling, it's okay. I still love you. But I would invite you to give it a chance, especially if you're someone who is busy minded, if that makes sense. I feel like all you Virgos and Geminis, especially, like my sun sign is Virgo, and my North Node is in Gemini. So writing and like intellectual things, I that's just me. And so this is a non-negotiable for me. If you're like that, if you're an intellectual person or someone who's in your mind a lot, you might be even emotional, but you contemplate on things like inner, right? Journaling is great for you, right? You can put everything on the paper so you can see exactly what it is that you're working with. And the answer sometimes pops out of the pages for you. I just feel like it opens up the way for the solution to also come through for you. So, like I told you, I started this journal that I just completed with a prayer, and I ended with a prayer just yesterday. And this prayer actually came to me. I was asking the divine to show me a sign. I do that a lot, by the way. A lot of the journaling in here also has to do with my conversations with the divine or my divine team or my higher self. That's also in here too. Right. So, but this one, I was asking the divine for a sign. And when I logged into my YouTube page, I saw a video and it said how to hear God when he speaks. And I was like, that's interesting. Like, I want to, a part of me was like, oh, I already know that. But there's something that drew me in. And when I listened to it, I was in tears the entire time. So it's basically a sermon by C.S. Lewis. I don't know if you know about C.S. Lewis. I don't know much about him. I know that he's written a lot of books, but I wasn't sure how it was gonna be when I saw the sermon. I was like, "Oh God, is it gonna be preachy?" But the way he spoke, yes, he included like Bible quotations in there, and the way he spoke, you could tell he was a very wise man. Like he was channeling, he was truly channeling the divine, right? And just listening to it was about 30 minutes or so. No, this one was about an hour. Yes. And just listening to the whole thing, it was exactly like I could not stop writing. Like the words, like it was exactly what I needed to hear. So I wanted to share this with you guys as a way of me closing this chapter and also opening up to the next chapter. Like I'm excited for the next chapter, and I am calling in many things. I feel like I've done the work for a long time, that I'm ready to see the results, if that makes sense. So me sharing this prayer, first I feel like there's someone who needs to hear this prayer too. I'll put the link in the show notes so that if anyone wants to go and actually listen to it, you can do that. But I feel like someone also needs to hear this. There's someone out there who is experiencing what I experienced and needs to hear these words. So I basically listened to it and I just wrote down the things that stood out to me. So it was a whole talk, right? A whole sermon. And it had so many messages in there, but this is what stood out to me. So, yeah, I invite you to just take a deep breath in. And if you've been going through a hard time lately, this is for you, because this is why I was asking for a sign, because I feel like I've been in a very dark place where I'm still contemplating who I am, what I'm here to do, my purpose, and everything, just my life in general. What is my vision? What is my bigger vision? What am I here to do, right? And how do I do it? We all go through dark nights of our soul many times throughout our lifetimes. I still remember all the ones that I went through, and they're not easy. We know this. And in times of darkness, I should say, or soul searching, I should say, right? I tend to talk to the divine a lot in my team because I know I can depend on the divine. I know I can count on the divine. So it was no surprise that the message that I received after asking for a sign was this. So if you're moving through something difficult right now, I hope this gives you hope or sparks a light within your heart so your light can return back again. I hope that it elevates you and inspires you. Here we go. Messages from God through C.S. Lewis. Have confidence in me. Let me continue to help you. I desire to protect you day and night. Do not let despair take root in your soul, for I love you deeply. So when life's trials leave you lost, seek comfort in me. Find a way when you feel overwhelmed and surrounded by conflicts. I am your solution. Focus on the future. Remember the wonders I have done for you in the past. In Psalm 121, 7 and 8, the Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life. The Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore. So receive my peace and find lasting happiness. I see your tears and hear your prayers for the well being of those you love. When you come before me, focus on praise and thanksgiving for all your blessings. I want your faith to remain unshakable. I will fulfill every promise I make to you. When obstacles try to block your path, do not be discouraged. I have your destiny in my hands. You will achieve your goals. You will release or unleash the dreams within your heart. Nothing and no one can steal your blessings, but your faith, loyalty, and sincerity are crucial. My dear child, I urge you to embrace the opportunities I am bringing into your life. I will grant you the supernatural ability to see beyond and understand the plans and thoughts of goodness I have reserved. I know recent days have brought pain and sometimes confusion can cloud your thoughts, but I assure you now no harm will befall you. You will not be ashamed. You will defeat the enemies that surround you and emerge victorious against all threats. The time has come to recognize your worth, to see yourself as the beloved child of the Almighty God. No one can prevail against you. No one can obstruct your path. You are already triumphant over all challenges. Acknowledge your victory. I will move mountains, and you will rise with unshakable faith. You will walk with determination and strength in your heart. I can do all things through him that gives me strength. I understand that family issues can bring you anguish and pain. Sometimes you need moments of recovery, rest, and prayer. Retreat into a moment of silence, solitude, and communion with my Holy Spirit is comforting for your soul. You were not created to live in sadness, tears, error, or failure. I am with you always until the end of time. Join me by saying, and so it is, and so it is, and so it shall be. It is done. Beautiful, right? I just reading it again, it's like that confirmation, like it's still ringing in my heart. If I were to go back and rewatch that video, I would get a totally new messages from it. That's kind of how the divine speaks to us. Our divine team, our higher self spirit speaks to us in so many different ways. And it is up to us to be open to the avenues of spirit instead of expecting spirit to speak in the way that we speak. We have to be open to the channels through which spirit wants to speak to us. So for you, it might be through doodling. It might be through going for a run. It might be during when you're watching a movie and someone says something. How many times has that happened where you're watching something, you're like, oh my God, it's like they're talking to me. Or I love this one. It's like you're listening to the radio and a song comes on that is just the message in that song is exactly what you needed to hear. Spirit is always talking to us. Are you listening? Let me know in the comments if you also enjoy journaling, how you receive messages from spirit. How do you digest the experiences of life? Is it through art? Is it through journaling? How do you do it? Share that with us so that we can know, we can learn something new about you as well. All right, my loves. For all the Virgos out there, happy birthday. My Virgo sisters and brothers. Happy birthday to me as well. And until next time, cheers to a new beginning, a new journey, a better amazing, blessed journey for us all. And so it is.